So the first thing we're going to do is going to do a very simple colour wheel. So not worried about being a perfect circle. So with your pencil, just draw yourself a rough circle, about the sort of size of a mug or teacup, say. You see that? And then we're going to divide that into 6, roughly into 6. You got a pencil? I've probably nicked it, actually. I've probably mixed it up myself. Right, so we've got 6 segments. I've got these Invisaligns to straighten the teeth. So if I can't get the words out sometimes, that's the reason. You've done your circle. Yeah. Now you've got your colours written down, hopefully at the top of your sheet. And often the mistake that people make with watercolours when they're mixing is they put a whole load of water into their mix and they use the whole little bit that they've squeezed out. We only need a little bit of paint. So, damp your brush in your water and just get working from the edge and just with a bit more water. Get a mix of paint like that. And then put that into one of your segments. Leave a little edge because we don't want them to run. And that's my Cotman cobalt blue. So I'll just write it at the top as well, because we've got lots of different blues. We've got cobalt, we've got cerulean, we've got phthalo, we've got Prussian, we've got ultramarine, we've got permanent, we've got indigo. Those are just sort of off the top of my head. You'll then have primary blue, you'll have some called different names. The cheaper ones sometimes give you, like, brilliant red or sunshine yellow. Those don't really mean anything. You want a name like cadmium, lemon, cobalt blue, cerulean blue. So it's watercolour, so it's quite a lot of water. So when you've done that, this is why we've got 2 pots of water. Lift your brush off, so we'll keep one for washing and one for mixing. So wet your brush and we're going to pull a little bit of that yellow down, just from the edge, and leave a gap and then paint your yellow swatch in. Now I've purposely given you different colours so that to show that different blues, different yellows, different reds will give you different results. So not everybody's colour wheel will look the same. So leave a gap and then paint your yellow. So we've got blue, then a gap, and then yellow. So these are primary colours. Primary colours can't be mixed from anything else. You can never mix a yellow or mix a blue or mix a red. Wash your brush and then we'll do the same with the red. So again, we just pull a bit from the edge of the bit of red that we've got, leave a gap, and then we fill in the third segment. And again, I'm going to write on this, I've got cad yellow and I've got some rose madder, this one is. You can guess what we're going to do, right? Can't you? So we're going to again wash the brush, a little bit of clean water, and this time obviously we want to take a bit of our yellow and we want to mix that, put that into the middle. Wash your brush. We're going to take a little bit of our, try an even amount of the blue, mix those together, and then in the space between yellow and blue we add our mix. So that's quite a dark green. Obviously if we add more yellow it'll change it a bit, but just for the sake of doing this colour wheel, it doesn't really matter. Try and get sort of half and half proportions. But wash your brush, we try not to dirty up the colours, because if we start adding blue and yellow into our red, we won't get a pure colour mix. And it's important when you're doing experiments like this that we try and keep pure colour. So my red and blue, pop that into the... I'm leaving a gap between the colours because if I put them together they'll run and bleed while they're still wet. So I've got a nice purple there. Again, yellow. Remembering to wash your brush as you go, and some red, and we get an orange. it's important that you try and keep your colours uncontaminated. So we've still got lots of pure yellow, pure red and pure blue. And when you are mixing colours, again, it's important that you know which red, which blue, which yellow, which green, which mauve, which purple you're using, because it will change your colours, as you can see. Hopefully, we'll have a look later. But people that have got different colours on there, and they've got 3 primaries, they've got red, yellow and blue, they've actually created different colour wheels. Now I've just given you a squirt, I've given myself a squirt of Viridian. Now Viridian, originally from copper oxide, 3rd degree, that you see on roofs and things when the copper goes all around your pipes when you've got a bit of a leak, it goes a bit green. This is a very bright green, as you can see, not a particular nice green, far too bright on its own for trees and landscapes and so on. If you're doing a natural type one, it's too bright. But if we take our Viridian and we take a bit of our, this is rose madder, we mix those together. Touch more red, and you can see we can get various shades, I can add a bit more green, of grey. It's slightly different. So using 2 really bright colours, it's quite amazing really. We can get some really nice grey colours. So what I want you to do is to take do a little colour swatch now. So we'll start with the pure red. So add some water and mix up this is why you've got a nice big palette. So a bit more water. So we've got a nice mix of red there, and we're going to put down a little swatch of colour. Wash your brush, get a bit of this Viridian and add that in. Mix it in and put a swatch down next to it. Wash your brush off, a little bit more green, mix it in, put another swatch down. And keep going like this, adding a bit more green every time and putting down your swatch until you get back virtually to the Viridian, the green. You can see it's going that way now, it's getting more of a nicer green in a way. So picking up a bit of the green, you can't see that, can you? Tell me if you can't see it on the screen. Picking up a bit of the green, adding it, the Viridian, adding it to the mix. We're almost there now, we're almost at that Viridian now. So we've gone with our rose madder, a little bit of green, bit more, and then we get this nice range of colours. Note down the 2 colours at either end. Rose madder.
Rose madder's gone completely wrong because I've done the red and that green, but it's come out perfectly. That's the sweat. Yeah.
Too much.
I think I've put too much green in.
Yeah.
Too much green in.
Yeah.
So you're mixing up your red, or you can start with your green if you want. Mix up your green. Let's do it the other way around, so you can see. Mix up your green, put that down, that's the pure green. Take a little bit of your red, mix that in, put that down, a bit more of your red, keep adding that. Doesn't matter how many stages you go through, a little bit more red. Come to that point where we hit the grey, and then it will begin to go more of a sort of purpley grey. it starts to go a little bit pinker. Run off the back to the and I want you to try that if you've got sort of mess on your palette and you just need to clean a bit of it off. Just use a bit of tissue. Right, what's happening with yours? Right, where's more water?
I'm moving through a lot of browns.
This is green. Red.
So I started with red, I just put a very small amount of green. Green, yeah.
So what we want is about perhaps 5 or 6 on our red, or whichever red you've got, crimson, through to our meridian. So we've got all these different stages. So a little bit at a time. What we red. Right, so just mix it.
It's all the green and the red.
Yours, because it's a very orange red.
That's a good green.
Yeah, it's you're not getting the grain.
Yours have got that's a grey.
It is. So you just add in a little bit of colour. That's it, yeah. So what I want you to do is to experiment with 2 of your other colours. So it might be the blue and the yellow, or blue and green, or blue and red, or any mixture that you've got. And again, create a little swatch of colours like this. So don't forget to, if your water's gone dirty, get it clean. Choose a colour, so I might choose my yellow here. Put down the pure yellow. And add a little bit of blue to it. So we get a nice pale green. A bit more blue. So we get these darker greens.
So in between adding wash your brush each time.
Wash your brush unless you've got enough mixed sort of. Viridian is the green. And if it takes you Viridian, this is, I'm just using my cadmium yellow and cobalt blue this time. So I'm getting all this variation of greens, again just from those 2 colours. Do label the colours, so you've got them on your paper, so you're not adding any more apart from the green.
It really is. Recreating.
Because if
Well, yeah.
you can do a colour swatch that has a range of colours down the side and a range of colours across the top, and then you mix each one sort of half and half, and then you get like red and yellow, make orange, but you don't get all the variations of mixing those 2, and it's those variations. I'm actually making yourself a chart or a little book or putting these into a folder, you can then say, oh, that's the green I want, now how did I make that? And you can say, oh, it's cadmium yellow and cobalt blue.
What did you mix the blue in? Sorry.
So what? So colours that you've got in it, so you can use yellow and red to a range of ranges.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So a bit more water with yours so that you
More
can,
water.
yeah. strong sometimes on its own, particularly. I've left this recording the whole time to realise that I should be stopping it and starting it again, but never mind, I can edit it. So black can be, might help if I put some on my palette as well, wouldn't it? Can be a bit strong on its own, and we know how to mix a grey now, so grey is a nice, if you're doing something that is very dark, particularly like shadows. But black, I'll mix up a bit of black on here. In fact, I'll start with black here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add yellow to it. What do you think I'm going to get?
I'm just wondering what I'm going to get with black and yellow. I don't know, brown, maybe? Oh, like a, yeah. Mustardy colour.
So you can get some really nice sort of dirty greens. Sometimes you're not quite sure what you're going to get, are you? Till you think, well, let me just try that and that and see what happens. So we've got a nice range of, particularly sort of down here, sort of olive greens coming up through to a slightly sort of pale yellowy green, different to our yellow and blues that we mixed.